Assalamu alaikum everyone. This is me Fatima Khan, Business Wali. I am a student of Rayani AI Teachers Training Institute, batch 22. Today I am going to discuss a very important topic, that is how to find balance in digital world with ChatGPT. So today we will learn about this topic from ChatGPT. So let's start. Hello ChatGPT.
Hey, I'm here and ready to help. What's on your mind today?
So today I want to discuss about the topic is how to find balance in a digital world.
Ooh, that's a really good one. Yeah, especially since we're always online these days, it's super easy to get sucked into screens. What kind of aspects of balance are you thinking about? Like time management, mental health, or something else?
Okay, so my first question is this: what does finding balance in a digital world mean?
Yeah, that's a really great starting point. I think it basically means having a healthy relationship with technology. So, not being totally consumed by screens, but also using them in a way that supports your goals and well being. It's kind of about being intentional, like choosing when to unplug, being mindful of how much time you spend online, and keeping a sense of balance between digital life and, real life connections.
Okay, so why is digital balance important in modern life?
Yeah, so it's really important because we depend on tech for pretty much everything, school, work, socializing. But if we don't balance it, it can lead to burnout, stress, and even affect our sleep or mental health. So finding that balance helps us stay focused, be present in the moment, and keep that sense of control over how we use tech.
Okay, how can excessive screen time affect mental health?
Yeah, so when we spend too much time staring at screens, it can mess with our mood and anxiety. Like it can make us feel more isolated or even just more overwhelmed. Plus, it can affect sleep because blue light from screens messes with your body's natural sleep cycle. So, cutting back a bit can really help keep your mind more balanced and just overall calmer.
What are the benefits of limiting social media usage?
Ooh, yeah, there are a bunch. So, limiting social media can free up time for other things like hobbies, real world connections, or just relaxing. It can also reduce that comparison trap where you feel like everyone else is doing better. And honestly, it just gives your brain a bit more space to breathe and focus on what really matters.
How can technology improve our daily life when used wisely?
Exactly. It's all about being intentional with your time, like setting small boundaries, maybe having screen free hours, and making space for offline activities. Even just a bit of mindfulness, like a walk or reading, can make a big difference in how you feel in day to day.
What are the some healthy habits for maintaining digital balance?
Yeah, for sure. So, some good habits could be things like setting a time limit on your apps, taking regular breaks like the 20 rule. Every 20 minutes, look at something 20 feet away for 20 seconds, and also prioritizing offline hobbies and maybe having a digital detox day once in a while.
Okay, how can people avoid digital distractions while studying or working?
Yeah, that's a big one. A few tricks could be turning off non essential notifications, using apps that block distracting sites, or creating a dedicated workspace without your phone. And honestly, just scheduling short, intentional breaks can help you stay on task without feeling burned out.
Okay, why is taking breaks from screen important?
Yeah, it's super important because it gives your eyes a rest, reduces fatigue, and helps your mind recharge. Plus, it can prevent that mental fog. So when you come back to work, you're more focused and refreshed.
What role does self-discipline play in managing technology use?
Yeah, self discipline is huge because ultimately you're the one setting those boundaries. It's about being intentional, like choosing when you're going to check your phone or when to log off. With self discipline, you can keep that balance in check.
Okay, how can families create healthy digital habits together?
That's a great question. I think families can set shared roles, like having tech free meals, planning screen breaks, or doing activities together that don't involve devices. Talking about healthy boundaries and modeling that behavior is super important.
Okay, what are the signs of digital overload or burnout?
Yeah, so some signs can be things like feeling constantly tired, having trouble focusing, getting really irritable, or even physical stuff like headaches or eye strain. And if you notice those, it's kind of a signal to step back, unplug a bit, and reset.
Okay, How can spending time outdoors improve digital balance?
Oh, definitely. Spending time outside kind of resets your mind, like it pulls you away from constant screens. You get fresh air, movement, natural light, all of which just help you feel more grounded and present, which is a huge boost for balance.
Okay, why is face to face communication still improved today?
Oh, absolutely. Even though digital communication is so convenient, face to face still helps build deeper connections. You pick up on body language, tone, and it just feels more authentic. So mixing both is really powerful.
Okay, how can students manage technology for educational purpose effectively?
Yeah, for students, it's all about being intentional with tech tools. So they can use apps for organizing tasks, research, or learning, but it's super helpful to set clear goals, like knowing when to use tech for school versus when to step away. Having a balance helps keep it on track.
Okay, what are the dangers of technology addiction?
Yeah, so technology addiction can be pretty serious. It can lead to things like reduced productivity, social isolation, sleep problems, and even mental health issues like anxiety or depression. So being mindful about digital habits is really key.
How can mindfulness help people stay balanced in a digital world?
Oh, for sure. Mindfulness is awesome because it helps you stay present. So by being aware of how you're using your tech, you can catch yourself before you go on autopilot. And that kind of awareness makes it easier to step back, breathe, and balance your digital time.
Why is setting boundaries with devices important?
Yeah, it's super important because it helps protect your time and your mental energy. When you set boundaries like no phones during meals or after a certain time, you avoid burnout, stay more present, and just feel more in control of your day.
Okay, how can technology affect sleep and health?
Yeah, so tech can really mess with sleep because the blue light from screens tricks your brain into staying alert. Plus, if you're scrolling late at night, it can make it harder to wind down. So, cutting back on tech before bed really helps you fall asleep faster and get better rest.
What are the some productive alternatives to spending there online?
Ooh, great question. So, instead of just scrolling, you could read a book, do some journaling, pick up a hobby like drawing or playing an instrument, or even get outside for a walk. It all kind of gives you that same mental refresh.
How can digital detox days improve mental peace?
Yeah, so digital detoxes can be really powerful because they give your brain a break from constant input. Without the distraction, you kind of reconnect with yourself, feel less stressed, and just notice the world more clearly.
Okay, why is the privacy and online safety important in the digital age?
Yeah, it's super important because so much of our personal info is online now. If you're not careful, your data can be misused, like for identity theft or just being tracked. So, staying on top of privacy settings and being mindful of what you share is key for staying safe.
Okay, what is the impact of constant notification on concentration?
Yeah, constant notifications can be a real killer for focus. They break your concentration, even if it's just for a second. And that constant interruption can make it harder to get into that deep focus state. So, turning them off or setting specific focus times can really help.
Okay, how can balancing online and offline life improve happiness?
Yeah, it's really powerful. When you balance online and offline life, you're more present in real world moments, like with friends, family, or just enjoying quiet time. That deeper sense of connection and purpose from being offline often leads to more overall happiness and contentment.
What role does time management play in digital balance?
Oh, time management is huge. When you plan your day and set limits on how long we're online, you keep a sense of control. You make sure you're using tech purposefully so it doesn't just eat up your time or distract you from your real priorities.
How can parents guide their children toward healthy technology habits?
Yeah, so parents can really help by being role models themselves, like showing balanced tech use, setting clear rules, and having open conversations about why it's important. And it also helps to keep the dialogue ongoing. So as kids get older, they can make their own smart choices.
What are the long term effects of excessive digital independence?
Yeah, so over time, excessive digital dependence can lead to things like increased anxiety, lower attention span, even disruptions in social skills. It can kind of build a barrier between you and real world experiences. So that balance is really key to avoid those long term effects.
Okay, so my last question. What is the best way to maintain balance in our digital world?
Yeah, I think it really comes down to being mindful and intentional. So set boundaries, schedule offline time, and regularly check in with yourself. Like, see how you feel. That way, you stay balanced and in control, and you're not just swept along by the digital world.
Okay, thank you, ChatGPT.
Of course, I'm really glad we got to talk about this. If you ever want to dive into anything else or just need a breather, I'm here.
So that's all about our the conversation. I hope you learned something new in this conversation. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening to me. Allah Hafiz.